The Ferrari had been sitting in the same corner of the luxury garage for 30 days, silent, dust-covered, and humiliatingly broken. For Elena Royce, a self-made millionaire who owned everything money could buy, that red machine was the first thing in her life that refused to obey her. Every morning she walked past it, heels echoing on marble floors, and every morning the silence felt louder than any engine roar. Elena wasn't just rich. She was powerful, respected, and feared in boardrooms. But none of that mattered when her prized Ferrari refused to start. The dealership tried. The best engineers money could hire tried. One specialist after another shook their head, muttering words like impossible, rare fault, needs factory replacement. The car became a symbol of something she hated admitting. Not everything could be solved with money. On the 31st day, frustrated beyond pride, Elena drove to the edge of the city in a borrowed SUV. Her assistant had mentioned a small, old garage run by a mechanic known for fixing cars no one else could. Elena almost turned back when she saw the place. The sign was faded, the building cracked, and the smell of oil hung heavy in the air. This was not where Ferraris belonged. Inside, Daniel Carter was tightening a bolt on an ancient pickup truck. Grease stained his hands, and exhaustion lined his face. He was a single father, raising his 8-year-old daughter, Lily, after his wife passed away years earlier. Every day was a balance between work, grief, and love. Fixing impossible cars was how he survived. Elena walked in, confidence wrapped tightly around her like armor. She explained the problem briefly, expecting the same reaction she'd seen for a month. Daniel listened quietly, then asked her to bring the car the next morning. No promises. No awe. Just calm. When the Ferrari arrived, the garage fell silent. Neighbors gathered. Other mechanics whispered. Daniel didn't smile. He studied the car like a puzzle, running his fingers along the hood as if listening to it. That night, long after the garage lights went out, he stayed behind. Lily slept on a small couch in the corner, clutching her worn teddy bear as Daniel worked. The first challenge came quickly. The issue wasn't electrical, mechanical, or software alone. It was a rare synchronization failure between systems that weren't meant to fail together. Ferrari engineers had called it unfixable without replacing half the car. Daniel couldn't afford expensive replacements. He didn't even have official schematics. For days, Daniel researched, tested, failed, and tried again. Elena stopped by occasionally, expecting progress reports. Instead, she saw a man pushing himself beyond limits. She noticed Lily doing homework on an oil-stained table, waiting patiently. Something inside Elena shifted. She had grown up wealthy but lonely, raised by nannies and schedules. Watching this father and daughter stirred something she hadn't felt in years. On day 10, Daniel made a breakthrough. He realized the problem wasn't what was broken, but what was overcorrecting. A safety system was choking the engine, mistaking normal signals for danger. Fixing it required precision so fine that one mistake could destroy the engine forever. On day 15, Daniel tried the first real fix. The engine turned, coughed, then died. Lily watched from the doorway as her father sank onto a stool, head in his hands. Elena stood quietly behind him. For the first time, she said thank you, not as a client, but as a person. Money became the next challenge. Daniel's savings were gone. Bills stacked up. He considered giving up, returning the car untouched. That night, Lily asked if fixing the Ferrari would make things better. Daniel told her sometimes doing the right thing matters more than success. On day 27, Daniel tried one last time. He rewired, recalibrated, and trusted his instincts. When he turned the key, the garage shook with the roar of a perfectly tuned engine. The Ferrari came alive, louder and smoother than it had ever been. Lily screamed with joy. Daniel closed his eyes, overwhelmed. Elena arrived moments later. She didn't say anything as Daniel handed her the keys. She sat in the driver's seat, turned the ignition, and smiled through tears she didn't bother hiding. For 30 days, the car had defeated her. In one moment, a man with nothing but skill and heart had given her back control. But Elena's story didn't end with driving away. The next day, she returned with legal documents. She paid Daniel far more than he asked, but more importantly, she invested in his garage, upgrading it without changing its soul. She funded Lily's education and offered Daniel flexibility, not ownership, respect, not charity. Months later, the garage became known as the place where impossible problems were solved. Daniel remained the same humble mechanic. Elena still drove her Ferrari, but it no longer symbolized power. It reminded her of resilience, humility, and the truth she had forgotten. Sometimes the greatest repairs aren't made to machines, but to the parts of us that stop believing in others. And sometimes, the person who fixes what everyone else gave up on is the one who reminds us what truly matters. Elena thought fixing the Ferrari would bring her peace. She was wrong. The engine purred flawlessly now, turning heads wherever she went, yet every time Elena gripped the steering wheel, her mind drifted back to the small garage on the edge of the city. The cracked walls. The smell of oil. The quiet dignity of a man who never once asked who she was or how much she was worth. Success had always been loud in her life, but Daniel Carter's world was steady and sincere, and it unsettled her in ways she couldn't explain. Daniel's days had changed, but not in the way people imagined. The new equipment helped, the bills were no longer crushing, yet he woke up every morning before dawn with the same weight on his chest. Being a single father didn't get easier with money. Lily still needed breakfast, help with homework, and reassurance when nightmares came. The difference now was that Daniel had space to breathe, and that frightened him almost as much as struggle once had. He wasn't used to stability. One evening, Elena returned to the garage without the Ferrari. She arrived in a plain car, wearing no heels, no sharp suits. Daniel noticed immediately. She didn't look like a woman visiting an investment. She looked like someone searching for answers. She watched him work in silence, noticing how he explained every step to Lily, even when she didn't fully understand. Elena finally spoke, admitting something she had never said aloud before. She didn't know how to slow down. She didn't know who she was without pressure and deadlines. The broken Ferrari had forced her to stop, and Daniel had unknowingly fixed more than an engine. Daniel didn't offer advice. He offered honesty. He told her about losing his wife, about nights when he felt strong only because Lily needed him to be. He confessed that sometimes fixing cars was easier than fixing himself. The words surprised him as much as they surprised her. The next challenge arrived quietly. Elena's board demanded expansion. Bigger projects. More control. Less time. They wanted her to be untouchable again. Daniel faced his own test when a large chain offered to buy his garage outright, promising security but demanding his independence. Both stood at crossroads they hadn't planned. Lily became the bridge neither of them expected. She asked Elena why grown-ups were always tired. She asked Daniel why people were scared of choosing happiness. Simple questions with heavy answers. On a rainy night, the power went out in the garage. Candles flickered. The three of them sat together, listening to rain hit the tin roof. No engines. No deals. Just quiet. In that moment, Elena realized she had spent her life building walls when what she needed was a place to sit and breathe. Daniel declined the buyout. Elena postponed the expansion. They didn't call it a partnership. They called it balance. And for the first time in a long time, both of them slept without the sound of engines or expectations chasing them into the dark.